Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This has definitely been a really long time coming. Honestly, so excited to finally share my revert story to Islam. Honestly, I couldn't be more excited to sit and talk about something that has really impacted my life and changed my life so much for the better. I'm also going to be answering some questions you guys have asked me. Once I finish telling my story, inshallah, we will answer some questions. So I always get the question, did I revert or convert for my partner? And the short answer is no. I wouldn't want to be part of a religion that I didn't believe in, and I'm sure everyone else would feel the same as well. You know, I've never met a revert who converted for their partner, but for some reason this is a really popular question. But to answer that, no, I didn't. Obviously my partner introduced me to Islam, but yeah, that's it. So when I met my partner, he told me he was Muslim, and obviously that was actually kind of a shock to me. I come from an area in Sydney, Australia that has a 0.4% population of Muslims. So basically I'm seeing a Muslim around my area once a month at the most. Like, it's a very rare occasion you see a hijabi. So Islam wasn't something I knew a lot about, and yeah, so this definitely came as a surprise. But I like to think of myself as a really open person, and I was willing to learn a little bit more just so I could understand his beliefs. Beliefs are really important to me, and it's also really important to share similar beliefs, personally I believe, because otherwise there can be a lot of problems later on in life. For example, when you're raising kids, stuff like that. So it's really important to me to make sure our beliefs align. I was also researching a few other religions, you know, just to kind of see the similarities and differences, and, you know, just kind of, I didn't really know much about religion in all honesty, and I was kind of open to learning about multiple religions. I wasn't just solely studying Islam. But to be honest, I got to the point where I was looking into Christianity and Judaism, and it just really didn't click like Islam did. And yeah, I don't know, I got to a point where I was like, you know what, everything I'm reading, it's not really connecting, you know. Everyone, I feel like, has connections with different things, and for me that just wasn't the right path. So I decided to stop researching that, and actually I became really interested in Islam and learning about Islam. I also, growing up, had a lot of unanswered questions. I was really afraid of death, and that was like my biggest fear in life, and I was always thinking about what happens to us after we die, and literally thinking about that used to make me cry. I don't know why, it just made me so like choked up, like I couldn't talk about death ever. I definitely did have a lot of unanswered questions, and that was a really big one for me. My partner was super helpful with answering all my questions, and basically I got to a point where everything I was researching and learning I already believed in, and all the core values I already believed in, and I already carried those values within myself. And it was just kind of like I don't know how to explain the feeling. It was really eye-opening, and it was such an amazing feeling that everything I was reading, I was like, wow, I found my place, you know what I mean? It was gradually like building over time, just this feeling of connection to Islam, and just, yeah, it's such a beautiful feeling. I wish I could explain it, but honestly I suck at explaining things. So yeah, I began falling in love with Islam, and I just started researching for months and months and months on end, and it got to a point where every day after I'd finished studying or working, or I was out for the day, I'd come home and I would be so excited to sit down in my bed and just put on a 2-hour Mufti Meng lecture. Like, I was literally so excited to do that. Like, that was the highlight of my day, to watch lectures, to educate myself more, to read my textbook that I'd bought. Honestly, that feeling is something I will never forget. Like, just the excitement. Also, my partner was super helpful. We spent countless sleepless nights texting, staying up all hours of the night, texting each other, sending each other links of videos and websites and information, and he just answered all my questions as well. So it was really honestly super helpful to have someone who had a more personal experience to be able to answer questions, not only reading a textbook or watching Mufti Menk lectures or researching online, but actually having a personal experience was really important to me. I basically became obsessed with learning about Islam, I guess you could put it that way. I was just so obsessed with learning and I loved everything I was learning, and it got to a point where I began noticing myself dressing more modestly. And finally, after 6 months, well 6+ months of learning about Islam and buying my first Quran, I finally took my Shahada, and I think I knew for a long time that it definitely was something that I wanted to do, and I definitely wanted to take my Shahada. I just really wanted to make sure that Islam was the right religion for me, and it got to a point where there was literally no doubt in my mind, and I felt so at peace and so fulfilled, and just all my questions were answered, and there was no question about taking it. So then the next few months after I converted, I spent learning how to pray in Arabic. This was honestly one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do. I can't explain the feeling of being in my room alone and trying to not only speak a language that I have no idea about and I've never spoken before, but also having to pray. I'm not sure if any non-Muslims are watching, but praying in Islam, it's not just, you know, making a dua, which is like a prayer, but it's actually submission to God. So you have to get on your knees and pray, and basically that's all done in Arabic, and it was really challenging. I definitely broke down quite a few times because I just had no idea what I was doing, and I put a lot of pressure on myself because I think with me having a really public platform, people's opinions definitely got to me at the start. I just learned how to put it all behind me and focus, and eventually, alhamdulillah, I learned how to pray during Ramadan, which was a really special moment for me. I'm honestly so proud of myself for learning how to pray all by myself. That's such a big accomplishment for me, and yeah, I'm just so proud to say that I did that, and I didn't have family to help guide me, but I did that. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of the end of my Revert story. Obviously still learning and growing every single day, but I feel like that's the main part of my story. Alhamdulillah, here I am 6 months later, and I've been Muslim for half a year. That feels crazy to say, and I've never been happier. I've never been more at peace. I've never been more motivated as well. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I'm on the right path and everything's finally falling into place, alhamdulillah. So I think I'm gonna answer a few questions before I go. You guys left me so many, but I just picked out like a few favorites or the few most frequently asked questions. The first question is, was it hard to start dressing modestly? In all honesty, not really. I've always felt more comfortable in modest clothes. I think a lot of it stems from body confidence issues, to be honest, but that's how I felt most confident, in baggy clothes, baggy jeans, sneakers, stuff like that. So dressing modestly wasn't really a challenge for me because that's how I already dress. Basically the only time that I would really wear revealing stuff was for my Instagram, and yeah, that's kind of sad when I think about it now that I did that for Instagram, but you know, it is what it is. It's all part of the journey. When did you start looking into Islam? I think it was probably around this time last year, or a bit before this time last year, maybe around September last year. Someone asked, did I believe in God before I converted? I feel like yeah, I always knew that there was some sort of God, but I just didn't know what I believed in. And I was the kind of person who I didn't really want to look into any religion because I just wasn't ready for the answers. Like, in all honesty, I just wasn't ready to find the answers. I wasn't in a time in my life where I felt like I needed God or needed guidance. But yeah, I always knew that there was something, but I just didn't know what. Someone asked, what was the hardest part about converting? Definitely people's opinions and telling everybody. I was so scared to tell everyone that I converted. I remember the first few days after I converted, that's all that was on my mind. Like, I was constantly thinking about how my mom's gonna react, how my friends are gonna react, if people are gonna stop being friends with me because of it. Like, honestly, I was so scared, and now I look back and I think that I'm surrounded by such a beautiful bunch of people that I shouldn't have been that scared. But it's natural and it's normal, and honestly a lot of people are uneducated about Islam, so I wouldn't blame them for being confused or having questions or not feeling great about it. I just had to stop recording for like 1 second. My camera ran out of storage, so I'm sorry if the framing has changed. How was the first day of wearing the hijab for you? So this was honestly such an important day for me. I will always remember the feeling. I felt like everyone was looking at me. I actually put the hijab on for the first time before I converted. I think it was a few days before I converted, maybe like a week or two. I remember the feeling. I felt that everyone was looking at me. Everyone was staring at me. I don't know why. I just thought in my head that people would know me and be like, oh my god, that's Kishama in a hijab. But no one saw me. Me and my partner went on a picnic and we just sat in a park in the city, and it was honestly such a beautiful feeling because obviously I was feeling very overwhelmed, but also at the same time I felt like it was meant to be, and I felt natural. Like, it felt natural and normal for me to sit there and wear the hijab. It was so exciting and I'll never forget that day, honestly. So I think this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm so blessed and so grateful that you guys made it this far. I really wanted to quickly address something at the end of the video. I didn't want to make it the main point of the video, but I feel like I really want to talk about it. So basically, when you go on YouTube and search up my name, there's a video that comes up that I did not post. I did not give permission to post. It's not my video. This account has taken my old photos of me from a few years ago and put it into one video exploiting me, and it's so wrong on so many levels. Just really want to explain a little bit so you guys understand where I'm coming from. But I grew up around the beach. I lived in a bikini from like the age of like 15 all the way until last year. Obviously I've changed a lot since then, a lot and God has forgiven all my past sins, alhamdulillah. As soon as someone reverts, all their past sins are wiped. It's just so gross and so ugly that someone has violated me like this. I don't know who they are. I don't know them. It's just like a random account who posts these disturbing videos of girls. I don't really want to give it too much attention, but I hope you guys know that I've seen it, I've tried to report it, I've commented, like I've tried everything, and the video still hasn't been deleted. No one's gotten back to me from YouTube. It's been a lot, and honestly that's what held me back from posting a video for so long. Yeah, I shouldn't let it get to me, and now I kind of have learnt to push it past. If you guys have a few seconds to go on that video, obviously I don't want to get it views, but I really want you guys to comment on the video and report it and just help me get it taken down. But yeah, I'm not embarrassed about my past, and I'm not going to apologize for it because everything has led me here to where I am today, alhamdulillah. But it's just annoying when people try to use it as if it was something bad when your past is never something you should be embarrassed about. I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful and blessed to have so much support from you all. Honestly, you guys have no idea how much it means to me. I couldn't be more grateful. Like, I really truly wish I could express how grateful I am for all the love and support on my journey. My Instagram and my TikTok are linked below if you guys want to check me out and if you're new here. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. I feel like I've been talking for ages, but I love you all so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.